I don't consider myself a therapist. I'm definitely not a therapist because I don't truly believe in therapy, but I like to consider myself a wise old man, and I'm trying my best to encourage and instigate a revolution amongst the youth where men take absolute self-accountability and they believe in themselves and they take responsibility for absolutely everything. As a man, you are most formidable if everything is your fault. If it rains outside and you get wet, that is still your fault. Can you control the rain? No. Could you have brought an umbrella? Yes. You need to blame yourself for all things, the good and the bad. And by doing this, you take absolute self-accountability, which allows you to build a mental model in which you will find solutions. 1, 2, avoid trouble because you know that anything bad happens to you is your fault, and 3, be the most fearsome competitor possible because we're living in a very competitive world nowadays amongst the elites. The people who understand that you're living inside of a fish tank are trying very hard to get out, and you have to make sure that you can outrun some of them if you want to escape. It's an age-old adage. If a bear is chasing a group of people, you do not have to be the fastest one. You just have to be faster than the slowest. The slowest person is going to die. So as long as you're ahead of the majority of people, and you already should be because you're watching this emergency meeting, you stand a very good chance of avoiding slavery.
Yeah, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, which is a very, very profound statement, which I really like, because if everybody was inherently super lazy, everybody, and nobody did any work, working 2 hours a week would put you in the top 1% of people. But the secret is, Andrew, that in fact, most people are super inherently lazy. And when I mean work, I don't mean show up at your job. I don't mean go and do your hours and go and do your shift. I mean, they don't work to achieve anything better than what they've got. When they're home from work, they're not working on their side hustle, they're not working on their business, they're playing video games, they're watching Netflix, they're listening to music, they're booking concert tickets. You're 100% right. Most people are actually that lazy. So it isn't actually that hard to be in the top 1 or 2% of performers worldwide, because your competition isn't that scary.
Being a powerful man isn't always about furious anger and instilling fear. As enemies attempt to attack your energy and lower your vibration, understand this: power is untouchable. Power may notice, but it doesn't care. Sometimes power is simply not giving a fuck. Now, this is an important tweet because I know, please pay attention, I'm a professional. Being a powerful man isn't always about furious anger and instilling fear, meaning sometimes it is. You need to retain the capability to instill fear with furious anger. A man who cannot do that is not a man. It is one of the cards you need to have in your deck. However, more often than not, when you're in a true position of power, you will play the alternate card, which I'm describing here as simply not caring. There are a lot of people in the world, even to this day, who dedicate their lives to trying to insult me and convince the world I'm a bad person. I have never cared, and I never will, because they are wasting their lives. They're sitting at home, dedicating their time and energy to the name Tate. They think they are doing it damage. They think that by saying negative things, they are damaging my reputation. But all they're doing is making more people aware of me, and then people look and see the truth of my message, and I get more and more fans. I would argue that one of the reasons we're so monumentally successful, one of the reasons the real world and the war room are so large, the reasons we make so much money is because of the haters. The haters are a very important part of that. Now, I could get angry that haters are saying hateful things, but I never do. In fact, I take all of their energy and all of their human time that they're wasting, and I keto it. And I turn it into a massive positive, which continues to grow the brand and allows me to help more people. Power is untouchable. I have no interest if someone wants to make an account trying to insult me and sitting there all day long, because I just block them and I don't think about them ever. I don't read what they say. I never see any of their tweets. They don't exist in my reality, and all they do is awaken people to my brilliance.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, especially when this situation that we're in is over, I think that we actually owe a big thank you to the people who run these hater accounts, because what they're doing, you have to understand, if everybody agrees with a certain point of view, so if everybody, for example, thinks that we got set up and this is a matrix attack, it falls out of public consciousness. People be like, okay, the Tates got set up, okay, it's over. No one cares, because everybody has the exact same view. It's part of the reason why the Israel-Palestine debate is still happening on the internet. It's still why it's one of the forefront issues that everybody's discussing, because opposing views keep it relevant. Disagreements, keep it relevant. So the people saying that Tristan Tate definitely is a human trafficker, running these accounts, trying to gain as many followers as possible, spamming everybody I know, are doing me a huge favor, because what they're doing is they're creating the discussions, they're creating discourse, and then obviously the very, very clear evidence that I'm innocent gets posted just after it, and people tell them to shut up. So they're keeping it in the forefront of public consciousness, and they're keeping people talking about it. So thank you out there. If you run an account dedicated to me, I don't care what names you call me, you are a fan and you are doing the work of people. I pay people to do this. I would literally pay people to run accounts that keep me relevant. You're doing this for free. So you are an employee of mine, an unpaid volunteer, and we love you. Shout out to all of you, because no matter how much crap you put on Twitter, you can't actually affect the Romanian justice system from your little mom's basement in Arizona.
Absolutely. And power is untouchable. We says it here. Power notices but doesn't care. Sometimes power is simply not giving a fuck. How can you not give a fuck about things? Well, I'll tell you how. If you're filthy rich and you have a strong network of people around you who you trust, and you have a good family, and you have beautiful children, you have women who love you, and you have beautiful supercars, you live with your best friends in a compound, you have armed guards, and you're proud of yourself, and you're strong, and you train hard every day, and you're monumentally successful, and all of your dreams come true, and if you want something, you can instantly snap it up. You want a Pagani, you want a Bugatti, you want a $25 million apartment, anything you want, you buy. It's very easy to not give a shit about the opinions of people who don't have one fraction of your success. And what these people are trying to do is drag me, I'm using me as an example, but we can also use it for you. When you have true power, they're trying to drag you down. They're not trying to elevate themselves. They're trying to drag you down, which is a very different thing, because it's amazing how God rewards those who are trying to build and create and elevate, and how it punishes those who are simply trying to destroy and be spiteful and negative. And these people are going to dedicate hours and hours and millions of hours of their life towards a certain cause.
Thank you.
To try and drag people down who they cannot affect because they're already too powerful and too large. And they're wasting their own human experience, and they're not progressing or advancing themselves in any way. They will stay brokies, and we will stay rich forever.
Yeah.
My brother and I are actually in the NBA. I don't know if many people know this, but we're actually famous NBA players. We're in the NBA. It's called Never Broke Again.
The Never Broke Again Club.
It's impossible to damage our income ever.
Yeah, I mean, Google has my net worth estimated at $130 million. I'm not going to say how much I'm worth, but I am worth so much money. So if you think getting a photo taken down on Instagram somehow upsets me, I've been banned from Instagram for over a year. They literally, we got this photo of Tristan taken down on this account. I said, I don't even have Instagram. Like, keep doing it. We appreciate you, and I'm so rich. My income could stop tomorrow, and I'd be eating steak and caviar for the rest of my life anyway.
Absolutely. So not giving a fuck is the powerful move, but you have to be in a massively monumental position of achievement to do that in the first place. You have to be in an advantageous position in the first place to do these things. And once you get to a certain echelon, haters do nothing but fuel your immortality. And it's kind of interesting, because I had this conversation with Tristan. We're now in the position where our immortality is guaranteed.
Yes.
If we are stitched up and found guilty by the Romanian justice system, we become legends. Just like Mike Tyson went to jail when he shouldn't have. Just like Nelson Mandela went to jail when he shouldn't have. Just like Malcolm X went to jail when he shouldn't have. We become legends. When we walk this, because the justice system is fair, we once again become legends. It's a binary choice, and in both regards, we become legendary men. We are the Tate brothers, and we become more powerful and more brilliant than ever before. The game is set up that we only win or win. Now, perhaps one of the wins requires a little bit of jail. I mean, a break from our phones, push-ups.
Am I scared of jail?
Brother, my friend.
I'm scared of jail.
Never, we don't live in fear. Our bravery track record is flawless. So our immortality is guaranteed. For that, we cannot lose. So there is no point in us caring. Now, we do have the card. We can be furiously angry. We can instill fear. We can find out who people who dislike us are. We can damage their lives back. But truthfully, all in all, the most powerful move is just to continue to be billionaires, not care.
Yes.
And continue to help people escape the matrix. And anyone who wants to dedicate their lives to wasting their time ends up benefiting our immortality in the long run.
You're an employee of mine. You're a volunteer.
Absolutely.
You're a volunteer working for my corporation, boosting my fame.
So the lesson here is that you need to get to a position where ignoring people is a move in which you're guaranteed success. You can ignore people completely and they are benefiting you. And that comes from a position of power. And I think a lot of you at home right now, you may not be in our position, but if you're already working hard, you're already going to the gym, you're already training, you make sure that you're getting as much muscles as possible, as much money as possible, you're dedicated, you don't sleep in, you don't waste your time, you don't smoke weed, you don't play video games, you're focused on trying to become fantastic as a person, you can just ignore that girl. That girl who broke your heart or cheated on you, just ignore her. The most powerful move you can make is ignore her. Yeah, you could yell at her. Yeah, you could try and make her scared of you. Blah, blah, stupid crap, right? That's not going to work. The powerful move is just to completely ignore her because you're on your ascent. She is likely on her descent. She likely has no intention of improving herself, no intention of becoming richer, no intention of becoming better looking. Time is against her. As she gets older, she's going to lose her looks. You're going to continue your ascent, and she's going to have to watch you for the rest of her life be the man that she could have been with that she's no longer good enough for. The best thing you can do is simply ignore her. That is the powerful move. And it's the same with also men. It's not even a gendered argument. There's men who want to be your friends right now, who wanted to be your friend, and they did something wrong to you. And if you're on the right path doing the right things, karma, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is going to teach them a lesson for simply failing to be a good person to you while they had the chance.
Yeah, because there are men out there who the most interesting thing about them, I've tweeted this before, the most interesting thing about some people is that they once knew Tristan Tate. You sit them down with anybody, any stranger anywhere in the world, and at some point in the first 20 minutes of conversation, they're going to say, do you know that Tristan Tate guy? Yeah, I used to hang out with him. And yeah, you're completely right. Some people lose you, and then they look at the person you are today, and they wish they were hanging out with me today. But you want to screw me over when I wasn't so rich, when I wasn't so famous, when my lifestyle wasn't so fun, when I was less useful, when I didn't have such a strong network. You want to screw me over a little bit back then? Well, that's your problem. And yeah, the most interesting thing about many people in the world is that they once knew a man named Tristan Tate 5, 6, 8, 10 years ago, and that's all they have.
And it's actually amazing because when you become monumentally successful, the thing you enjoy most is giving to others. I think I talked about this in a Christmas stream about how dads only get socks for Christmas. But when you have a whole bunch of money, you take care of the people you love. And that's the masculine prerogative. And even my brother and I, anyone who's been loyal to us, who's on our team, we monumentally reward. And everyone who ever displayed cowardice or sold us out or made mistakes massively regrets it because they see how well we treat the people who are close to us. I will keep on winning, and I will focus only on winning, and the losers will focus on me, a winner, to help me win. This is why I wake up each day more powerful than the day before. This is how I keep winning in court. This is why I will beat this criminal case. This is why I will become the prime minister. This is why I am so famous. This is why I am so rich. This is why I am so strong. This is why we teach strength inside the war room. This is why every member of the war room benefits when he comes to the war room meetings and stands next to me and gains energy. And I gain energy from them because we are a team of winners. When I become prime minister, everybody will seethe and they won't understand. I'm only prime minister because you didn't want me to be. You kept tweeting how important it is that I'm not prime minister. You kept saying my name to the point that I took over. You put me there. This is why I seem so lucky. This is why I put on muscles so easily. Because I always have that little bit of energy to train a little bit more, knowing that my enemies are jealous of my physique. It's why I make money so easily. When you tweet bad things about me, people look me up and find the good things and end up joining Hustlers University. Everybody is thinking about me all the time. And I know it sounds crazy, but the smart ones of you understand this. I am on the mind of every beautiful woman on the planet. Every single beautiful girl you see on Instagram. 100% of all of the eligible, beautiful, fertile women on this planet know my name. All. There is not a single beautiful female from Ulaanbaatar to Utah who does not know the name Andrew Tate. Every single one, blonde, brunette, big tits, big ass, from 18 to 30, every single beautiful woman knows my name. And if you go on a date with any pretty girl, I guarantee you if she could press a button and swap you for me, she would. She would press a button and you would vanish and I would appear. I am the dream of every fertile female alive. And they all know exactly who I am. Do you have any idea how much power that gives a man? Or about the haters, 24/7, analyzing my entire life. Tate. This is why the women know who I am. This is the point. I don't think of these women. I don't know these women's names. I don't need to. I know that if I go into any establishment, Sardinia, Dubai, Milan, Helsinki, I will leave with the baddest girl. If I want to, I just point and it's over. How can you not want that level of power as a full-grown man? Because you won't get it from money. You can pull up to the baddest club with a Lambo and buy a bunch of bottles like these crypto kids. Girls don't care. But they care about me because they can feel a vacuum. When I walk into the club, there is a change in the atmospheric pressure, and something just implores their neck to stare in my direction, praying for the point. That's the life you should want to live as a man. Anything less is failure. Anything less is failure. I couldn't possibly stand living as a man as anything less than that. I am a winner and I want to win. I want the best human experience, and I am prepared to suffer for it because I understand there's no light without dark. Thank God I went to jail. Thank God they arrested me. Thank God they're trying to put me in jail now in a criminal case. I cannot wait to win or lose, because all of this results in me becoming more famous and more respected on the back of my suffering. All of it. Every single time something bad happens to me, more beautiful women message me telling me how proud they are of me, even though they've never met me, and how admirable I am for showing strength. There is no dark without light, and there's no light without dark. The difference between you and I is I've been prepared to suffer to be this man. That's why I was prepared to do the weights in the gym to get strong. If you're not prepared to train, how can you suffer at this level to become the kind of man I am? This is the only life worth living, gentlemen. Anything less than this is failure. The fact that you're going to go on a date with a girl from Instagram and she doesn't even want you, the only reason she's with you is because I won't reply, should bother you in your soul. You shouldn't be able to date women at all. To sit there and know that you are second choice to a man who she is messaging, guaranteed, who doesn't reply. I am a storm far in the distance, fed by the evaporating dreams of jealous men. Men who are imagining in an alternate universe where they could match me in any realm, but they can't, and they know it, and it angers them to their core, and the anger forces their souls to evaporate faster, and I absorb it, and I grow stronger. And I will teach you all of this. This is actually the big secret of what the war room is. People say to me, but I can make money in Hustlers University. Why do I need the war room? Because the war room teaches you the secrets of the universe. And the war room forces you via peer pressure, via affiliation, via group standards to do the right thing so that you can once again win. There is more to life than simply making some money. Money is easy. Everyone should be a millionaire. Money is easy. There's so much more. There's so many hidden levels to this world. People will talk about Satanists, talk about this rituals they're doing with blood sacrifices, etc. You think these people don't understand something? There are so many levels to the world that you do not consider or think about or understand. That's what the war room is. We will teach you the light. The Satanists are the dark. We are the light. Because there is no light without dark. If the Satanists have rituals that make them powerful, the ones who are good, who defend society, who do the right things and defend their families, also have rituals which make them powerful. And you do not consider, understand, or implement these rituals. And you wonder why you permanently fail. I could tell any man how to get attention from the world and how to harness it into fuel. My blood flows at 450 miles per hour. This is a scientific fact. And your blood will not speed up through your veins until you know what I know. To do what I can do. If you sit in front of a microphone with no script for an hour and 12 minutes and just talk from your heart, nobody will listen. I don't have news articles. I don't have a script. I just sit down and talk about things I know. Because I have the souls of 50,000 men. You don't. So when you speak, men don't care. When you speak, women don't care. Nobody cares. You're invisible. Why would you want to live your life as a full-grown man and when you talk, nobody cares? When I talk, people listen. When I yell, people are afraid. When I give a woman a compliment, her heart is mine. When I give a man a promise, the business is done. You don't have these powers. You can promise a girl how much you're going to take care of her, and her heart is still not yours. You can promise a man how hard you'll work. The business still isn't yours. You can threaten a man's life. He will laugh in your face. And you just, what? You just accept that? That's how you're going to live? I speak reality into existence. I say to a girl, you love me now. I'll take care of you. And it's done. I say to a man, we're going to make $100 million. And it is done. How much energy are you giving away each day? You are scrolling X, scrolling Instagram. You're looking at girls on Instagram who wouldn't give a shit if you died. They don't know your name. They don't care about you. And you are staring at their pictures, giving them energy. You are making them more beautiful so they can end up with a man like me. Why are you liking her posts and looking at her pictures and making her more beautiful so I can take her? You shouldn't be interested in women who are not interested in you. There is a finite amount of human soul on the planet, and you are failing yourself because you're giving your soul away when you need to be taking the souls of others. I don't know how else to make you guys understand that my monumental success is built on the back of peasant envy. All of the angry little peasants and their envious, jealous snides hidden behind a curtain of false virtue makes me more powerful than ever. This is a framework that I've explained, and you've heard it before, the law of attraction. But it's deeper than this. There's more I need to teach you about universal life force. How to steal the souls of other men and become more powerful than ever before. There's no brilliance without mediocrity. There must be worms for the birds. There must be unhappy men so that a few can know joy. This is how the world works. This is how capitalism works. It's how everything's always worked. There are a few kings and a bunch of peasants. You must decide which team you want to be on. How can you be a king without ruling over peasants? Logic test. You want to be a king, then you need to rule over peasants. You need to have a lot of people underneath you as an individual to be a king. You need to have 100 people obsessed with you while you do not obsess with them for you to be a king. This is pure logic. You can't be a king over one person, and you can't be a king by yourself. You're a king if a lot more people, by a factor of 100, care about you than you care about. This is the basic premise, the prerequisite for royalty. This is how you know joy. The reason you're sad is because you don't have what I have. If you woke up with my capability one day, any woman, any car, money, fame, the BBC, CNN, everyone in the world asking your opinion all the time, everyone interested in what you do. If you go to the gym and lift weights, nobody cares. I go to the gym and lift weights, 10 million views. Just lifting weights. We're both doing the same thing, but me, I get attention, energy, focus. You get nothing. You go gym every day. Who watches? Nobody. Who watches your workout videos? Nobody. Who watches mine? Everyone. And they write under it, he's a loser, because they can't stand how good I look. They can't stand it. They can't stand how sexy I am. They can't stand how much I win. I am full to the brim with life force that I have stolen from these people. Because they watch me and they get bitter and they get sad and then they scroll off of me and they sit there semi-depressed watching TV. Because I stole their motivation. I stole their energy. They don't watch me and go to the gym. They don't see me do fantastic and then go train. They see me do fantastic and go, I hate this guy, and then watch TV because I took all their energy. I took all their motivation. I took all of it. It's all mine now. And I train even harder. This is why I grow more powerful. It's why people can't stop staring. I will teach you how all of this works. The law of attraction on cocaine. I will teach all of you inside of the war room. But I can only teach you if you understand me. I can only teach you if you are prepared to do the difficult things which must be done for you to win. You have a limit. We will find it and we will push you beyond it. It is 2025. This will be a transformative year. Perhaps the most important year of your life. I have a strong suspicion when you're an old man and think back on your life and tell your best ever story, your grandchildren will ask you, when did that happen? You're going to say 2025. That happened in 2025, the best year of your life. But your life will not be as good as it could be unless you learn to harness the energy from others. Until you learn to do the difficult things and get envious peasants to feed your soul.
They're scared of a message. They're always going to be scared of any message that comes from somebody that people idolize and respect, which is basically telling people to be strong physically and mentally and to resist the slave mind and to think for themselves, because their number one agenda is to create worker drones. They don't want you to think for yourself, which means that to a degree you need to be weak, both mentally and physically. If you're weak, both mentally and physically, one, you're not prepared to defend your ideas, but especially if you're mentally weak, this is such a big point of it. And this is why I get so much flack for saying depression isn't real and all these things. If you're mentally weak and you're concerned in your own mind about even living day-to-day life because you find it such a struggle, there's no way you're going to take on a larger battle than yourself. You're not going to start resisting enslavement. You're not going to start fighting against COVID mandates. You're not going to be doing any of that stuff because you're too busy looking in the mirror, crying your eyes out. You're selfish. You're self-obsessed. Happy people don't do that. Happy people, okay, my life is good. I'm happy. I want my family to be happy. I want my community to be good. I care about my country. That's why they don't want you to be happy. They want you to be miserable, weak, and they want to delete any morality from your brain because it's a baseline morality that prevents them from installing the slave programming. By getting you to a point where you no longer think for yourself, they can just tell you anything is true. That's what they're doing to us right now, Zuby. What they're doing is convincing people to ignore their own eyes. When you walk into the toilet as a woman and you see a big man and you have to pretend that that's not a man, you have to pretend it's not. Yeah. Because if you acknowledge what your own eyes are telling you, you're the enemy, right? Once they can convince you to ignore your own eyes, well, that's the end of the game, isn't it? Now it doesn't matter if they see the sky is blue because the media said the sky is red. And that's the final level of slave programming they're trying to get us to. They want us to ignore our own eyes, ignore our own ears, ignore our innate morality, because we're all born with an innate morality inside of us. We believe certain things are wrong and right instinctually. They want us to ignore that. Get rid of all of it, empty brains, empty hard disks, and plug in the new program for whatever they think is applicable at the time. And it's going to be tyranny and slavery. What else would they want to program into us? Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Some companies gave me a reason, some companies didn't. So Meta and YouTube never even sent me an email. They just deleted me completely, and in sync were these massive press releases, which obviously they had prepared statements to release to the press. But they never gave me an official reason by email. So they've never even told me why. And the reason for that is because I think they understood that they're probably going to end up in court, and they want to be able to make up their reason as they go along in the courtroom. They don't want to stick to a reason on the day. In fact, I've heard from reliable sources that terms and conditions for both of these companies have changed post my banning. So they've tried to protect themselves. So that's that. A few other companies, the ones who deleted me, like Airbnb, etc., it was the typical generic community guideline standards don't meet our current expectations of that. It's all vague garbage. And when you click accept to these companies, you're accepting terms and conditions that are so ridiculously vague. They basically mean we can ban anyone at any time without reason because we decided to. So they don't have to give you a reason, you know? The reason that they told the media is that I'm somehow hateful and misogynistic and I'm dangerous to the world, which I think anybody with a brain knows is absolutely not true. I have opinions, yes, but those opinions aren't going to be out here detrimenting society, not the way that most of the genuine evil that the mainstream media purports out to the children is actually damaging society. The reason they deleted me is because I was massively influential and they didn't like the direction in which I was pushing the youth of the world, which was to think for themselves. So they thought I had to go. That's what the real reason they did it, and they never even told me why.
It's physically all you do, and also it's mentally all you do. Because when you have a fight coming up, it's all you think about, your opponent, blah, blah, weight cut, lose weight. It's your whole life. So I mean, it was fine for a while, but I realized if I was going to do something, you said earlier about me being extreme. My very simple life philosophy is you're going to do it properly. So if I'm going to do something, I give it all I got. So I thought, you know what? I think I might have to give fighting up to truly try to get rich. And that's what I wanted to do. And a lot of people want money.
But I wanted money more than other people want money. And that's why I have money. So the day I retired from fighting, all I did or talk about or read about or research, all it was money. I was completely uninterested in anything else. Money, I'd fuck my girls on when I felt like it. And that was literally it. I couldn't be Star Wars. No, I didn't have time for none of that shit. It was like, no, I'll just fuck my chicks, make money. That's all I wanted to do. So just gave it the champ. That's the champion's mindset, isn't it? You give it all you got and you'll do well.